What's going on, everybody? It's Hallé with Canadian Christian hip hop, Witness the Light music. I'm here, and we're about to do a mix of instrumentals for a buddy of mine, Joshua Kriese. This song's gonna be off his next project coming up here. Don't know a release date, but all I know is that this project is fire. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Hallé. I am a mix engineer. I mix for tons of independent Christian hip hop artists, mostly Christian music, and also work with a music label by the name of Wrath and Grace. I would strongly recommend you check them out. They just dropped a brand new song. Joshua Kriese actually dropped this song with Wrath and Grace. It's incredible. I really enjoyed the message behind it, and 100% support everything that was said in the message there. Let's open up our churches. It's very important. They are essential, and pastors are essential workers. They're frontline workers, and we need them. So, that's my spiel on that. As it is right now, here I am in front of my ProTools rig, about to get into a mix. This one again is by Joshua Kriese. I want to, I think I'll also get into the vocals depending on how much time I have, but usually these go for about an hour. And I just like to share my process when it comes to mixing music. My DAW of choice is ProTools. And this is what I enjoy doing. So I know if you're new and you've subscribed recently, or if you're new there and I've added you on my Facebook as my friend, just know that this is something that I typically do once in a while. Try to do more consistently, but it does get a little tough. We got 4 little ones, and life is a blur, but God is good. So. All right, guys, so I want to get into the song here. Essentially, my goal for this is to get a solid foundation of the instrumental mix so then I can start plugging in my vocals. So let's listen to what we got here. Yeah. So, all right. So, now this is what I got so far. I did do a little bit of triggering, layering the kick, because what I got for the kick was this. Definitely production taste type of kick. They chose this specifically because it went well with the vibe they're going for. But I wanted a little bit more power. So we did a little trigger. And that trigger gives me a little bit more oomph in the low end there. And I can definitely feel that in the sub pack. Might have to turn it down a bit. All right, so that's usually where I start with. I start with my kick, a little bit of triggering if I need to do some post-production, and then I move into my bass. So let's see what we got here. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm using a send from my side chain to side chain the compressor on the bass. So I'm sending 100% of the kick. I'm sending 100% of the kick to the compressor. Sorry, I'm just looking at my phone here because I want to see if maybe I can share this on my other pages. Let's see here. If I go, make sure that everything's kind of flowing right, you know. Don't want to miss out on the opportunity to share this music here. Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Got my Twitch going, and I'm going to get the Facebook on the go here. Let's see. All right. So what I'm trying to do here is and you've probably seen this technique before if you are doing some mixing and mastering or even production, is I'm trying to all right, so this is our bass. I added an oxide UAD tape machine for a little bit more, I think, depth. All right. I was going to do a little bit more to it, but then I felt, you know what, maybe it's important. Let's get the side chain in. Sorry, I didn't know. I realized my screen wasn't on the proper screen. So let's get the side chain in. Let's get the kick in there. And the goal is to make the bass kind of duck, right? You want it to duck. You want it to kind of like go out of the way. And I'll show you an extreme example of that. That's too much. That's way too much. I do not want the kick to be ducking so much out of the way. So instead, I chose a ratio of 1.13 of 1. So every time the kick hits, the bass is being reduced at that amount. A little bit, not too much. Also, messing with the release. Let's see what the auto release does here. It's a little bit slower. Took off the auto gain. So now I'm creating some space for that kick to punch through, and I could definitely feel it in the sub pack. Definitely feel it in the sub pack. All right. So then add a little bit more with the kick from the trigger. Yeah, my sub pack's going crazy. I want a little bit more top end on this bass. So where do I find that? Okay, so I found a little bit of top end with the Saturn II of that bass. I want to hear a little bit more of the transient from that synth. So let's do some transient shaping with the Neutron. All right, so now I have a fuller bass. Let's run through those 3 plugins there. There we go. Definitely like that a lot more. All right, perfect. All right, so now let's see what I can do here with this kick, because the kick is a little heavy. I'm gonna control some of the frequencies, even though I really do want the bottom end to just kind of really punch and really like shake your speakers. I don't need all of that information, that low end information. So I gotta mold it, I gotta sculpt it, I gotta just make sure that I'm getting the perfect amount that's making things punchy, big, and just sounding really, really good on a sound system. And these headphones here, to kind of give me an idea of what's happening. I'm also using a sub pack. Sub pack is definitely a secret weapon, especially if you're mixing on headphones, and it definitely does the trick. You can get an idea of what's happening with the low end. So let's check it out. Okay, so just to run you guys by what I did here. So from Trigger, which is my drum track that is being triggered to another sound that is layered within the drum, the kick, to a Pro Q3. I'm just getting rid of the really, really low sub frequencies. Don't need them. And then to some Saturn, and from the top end of that kick, I just brought it up a tiny bit with some warm tape saturation. And then I went into an API. Now here's how I'm going to set my API. There's a couple ways, and in a couple styles. This one, I'm just going to try to get it to be a little bit more controlled, a little bit more punchy. And then the other one, the other kick, I'm going to try to get the top end of that punch of that kick to really snap through. So let's check it out here. So if I do a fast attack, I'm really clamping down on that transient. That's not what I want to do. I want to be able to bring up the entirety of the kick while controlling it. So maybe a slower attack here. Mute the bass and the other kick. So I got the layered kick in. Now let me mess with the original kick. See what we can do. All right. Now for this one, I'm going to go into a handy dandy preset. It just clamps it completely. I'm just going to go into a parallel chain for the kick. All right, so I feel like I'm getting the kick to where I want it. Let's start to put another elements of the drums here. So on my sub drums channel strip, my VMR, I'm using a virtual channel going into revival to try to get that top end and some thickness, and then the high lift and the low lift. That's literally all I'm doing, and then I'm going into some compression, drum compression, very basic drum compression, and I'm at 3 at the ratio. The threshold's giving me enough, about -3 dB, and of gain reduction, and then from there I am just pretty much trying to eyeball it or earball it, and then going into black box here. So now I start looking at the snare.
He created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that were swim independent. Day 6, land animals.
All right, so the reason I put the vocals in because I wanted to hear if the snare, the clap kind of sample that they have there was going to kind of get the rhythm of the cadence of the rap. And I feel like I'm missing a little bit of grit and some lower mids in a snare type sound for the drums. So my goal now is I'm just going to duplicate the snare track, go from the snare track, go in and create a trigger, find a new snare, and layer that in with the frequencies that are missing. So let's see if I can do that here.
He created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2.
All right, so that's it right there. Now let's go into trigger. All right, let's find my triggers here. All right.
Sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. The animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6,
I like that.
animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves.
Yeah, I like that. I really do. Not bad at all. Guys, if you're watching and you like what I'm doing and you enjoy the Christian music, Christian hip hop, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Facebook page, and share the videos if you can, please. That very much so would be great for me. So that way I can really get some of my audio work out there and people can see that there are some solid Christian rap mix engineers that'll just do it for the glory of God, you know, and ensure that the sound that we're getting is, you know, is the best we possibly can. That's my whole goal. So, but from there, so I selected the snares that I wanted, and I really do like the layer.
The heavens, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light.
Turn it up
Day 2,
here.
he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the vegetation that we all eat. Sun, moon, stars are the lights in the heavens.
So from that, so this is what we started with.
Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat.
Let me quickly load the actual instrumental in here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to play the beat here.
Day 2, he separated the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars are the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals, and man, and then on the 7th he rags. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation.
There we go. So this is going to be the instrumental, the production mix. So loaded the instrumental from the producer. This is what they provide their client with for them to rap on, to do their samples on or their demos on. And then, you know, this is why I strongly recommend, if you are a hip hop artist, spend the extra cash, get the track outs, find a good mix engineer that can really work with your vocals, work with the music that you're providing them in order to get the song sounding the way that it should. With the elements in your face, the elements sounding clear and just evident that everything is balanced. That's what I strongly would recommend if you are a producer, and if you're a mix engineer, your life would be a lot easier if you do get the track outs, because you'll be able to manipulate everything to sound balanced. And I always liken it to, you know, you give me a lasagna without any cheese in it. Well, I can put cheese in it, but it's not. It's gonna not be the exact same thing if you actually gave me a lasagna already, you know, with all the pieces, then I can put the cheese in it myself. That's the only way that's actually the way that I like to always talk about my mixing is liken it to food. So here I am showing you guys now the reference AB adapter. What is it called? Metric AB. Reference AB was the old one. Now this is adapter metric AB. This is the instrumental, the production from the producer. So there's definitely things that I like that they have. The synths are wide. Everything's kind of very spacious. But there's things that I don't like for example, the kick. I don't like where the kick is at. I don't like where the snares are at. I want to change those things, and because I have the snare, the track outs, I'm able to do so. So now this is what I came up with.
He created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the water.
And when I'm going back and forth, I'm also listening to other elements of the production, that things that I'm not missing, that I've improved and made better, versus not being able to capture it. So, all right. So here we go. Now going back, let's check. We did some triggering for the snare, put a little bit of saturation on there. There we go. All right, so now what I'm going to work on is the parallel snare channel here. I'm going to get this snare to snap and crack and just really get right in your face. Let's see if I can do that here. All right, cool. So I'm just messing with the parallel snare, trying to get it to snap the way I want it. Maybe it's actually not actually doing anything, and not doing what I want it to do. So I'm going to move on, because I think what I'm able to do is get the snare from the snap of the snare from the layer that I put in. Let's take a look here. Yeah. So I'll keep it in there. I just reduced the amount going in, so the compressor, the limiter wasn't clipping the channel. Okay, so I got my kick. I did a replacement, or I layered it with another trigger with another kick. Did the same thing with my snare. Layered that in with another snare. One of the things that I haven't done with my snare yet was to really mess with some of the frequencies that I didn't like. I did add some stuff here. All right, cool. So kick and snare are in. Now, next thing that I need to do here, I got my percussion. Let's see what my percussion's doing. All right. So percussion's kind of just laying in the background here. Let's listen to what the producer did and how he intended the percussion to kind of play out. Okay, so you can actually barely even hear the percussion in the producer's mix. Do I feel when I listen that I want to hear the percussion? Yeah, I actually like what it's doing. I don't really hear any transients coming through in the producer's mix. And by transients, I mean the initial impacts of the actual sound. I'll show you. So this right here is the transient. The initial transient of the sound, right? So I don't actually really hear much of that, and I like it. I like hearing that. So let's see what it's doing.
Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the planet. The moon, stars, and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that were swimming. And then on the 7th he rested. On the 7th he rested. Check it. Should I make it align with science? This article into question our hermeneutics. This article.
So you're going to hear that the vocals in the reference are a little louder because I haven't even touched the vocals yet. We're just working on the instrumental. Okay, let's see here if there is any way that I can make this percussion loop really pop out and do something here. Let's listen.
He created the dark and the light.
All right, let's bring some EQ in on it. You know what I feel like I want to hear? I want to hear a little bit more of its bass. Okay, so I got a little trick that I'm going to do. This trick allows me to find the note of the song. I'm going to go to Auto Key from Antares. I'm going to play the song through, not just...
The waters are right. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day Sun, moon, stars are the lights in the heavens. The animals that will swim independent.
Day 6, land animals and man, and then on the 7th he rested. Check it. Now some Christians like the rest of reliance and reinterpret scripture to make it align with science. This article into question our hermeneutical methods with any text we relying on for our guidance. Let's do a case study. Take the word day, look outside of Genesis 1 to see the different ways all the biblical authors would have tried to employ this phrase night and day, evening and morning, so we could get it straight. I bet 410 times.
Would you look at that?
It retains its regular meaning with the number of attached. I counted 51 times that this word is engaged with evening and morning, and the meaning never changed.
Never.
Night and day provides us with more samples, a lot of examples, but left with one angle.
Only one.
Still not converted.
Shoot.
But it's clear that you're the one left with the
Created the dark.
Bible.
Facts.
Day 1.
He created the dark and the light.
Day 2.
He separated the waters aright.
Day 3. He created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4.
Sun, moon, stars are the lights in the heavens.
Day
The
5.
animals that will swim independent.
Day 6. Land animals and man, and then on the 7th he rested. Check it. Now some Christians like the rest of reliance and reinterpret scripture to make it align with science. This article into question our hermeneutical methods with any text we relying on for our guidance. Let's do a case study. Take the word day, look outside of Genesis 1 to see the different ways all the biblical authors would have tried to employ this phrase night and day, evening and morning, so we could get it straight.
I bet
410 times.
Would you look at that?
It retains its regular meaning with the number of attached. I counted 51 times that this word is engaged with evening and morning, and the meaning never changed.
Never.
Night and day provides us with more samples, a lot of examples, but left with one angle.
Only one.
Still not converted.
Shoot.
But it's clear that you're the one left with the burden of proof.
Bible. Facts.
Day 1.
He created the dark and the light.
Day 2.
He separated the waters aright.
Day 3. He created the land and the plants.
All right, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make this sample pop out, give me a little bit more presence. I like the rhythm. I like what it's doing, but it's not loud enough. I could just turn it up. Let's see if I can get the balance that I'm looking for with what I've done already. So I went with some R bass, adding some low end harmonics. You know what? Maybe I should actually go higher. Let's see what F is. It's 174, and this is the F sitting at. Let's see here. Yeah, that'll be the F sitting at 174 since the song is an F.
But left with one angle. Only one. Still not converted.
Shoot.
But it's clear that you're the one left with the burden of proof.
Bible. Facts.
Day 1.
He created the dark and the light.
Day 2.
He separated the waters aright.
Day 3. He created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4.
Sun, moon, stars are the lights in the heavens.
Day
The
5.
animals that will swim independent.
Day 6. Land animals and man, and then on the 7th he rested. Check it. Now some Christians like the rest of reliance and reinterpret scripture to make it align with science. This article into question our hermeneutical methods with any text we relying on for our guidance. Let's do a case study. Take the word day, look outside of.
Okay, I think I found what I was looking for here. Let's take a listen.
to call into question our hermeneutical methods with any text we relying on for our guidance. Let's do a case study. Take the word day, look outside of Genesis 1 to see the different ways all the biblical authors would have tried to employ this phrase night and day, evening and morning, so we could get it straight. I bet 410 times. Would you look at that? It retains its regular meaning with the number of attempts.
Okay, I like that. I like what the percussion's doing now. What I feel like I'm missing, though, is I want something that's going to kind of give me a hi-hat vibe. This is something that I've been doing recently just because I think one of the things that I've realized about mixing is I love the drums. I love getting the drums to knock. I love the drums, getting them to really... sorry, that's me on Twitch trying to make sure that my video and my audio is good. But yeah, something that's gonna get the rhythm of the hi-hats, the top end, kind of giving me what I need. So let's see if I can duplicate the percussion here. Duplicate it, and don't need all of this, but I will keep it. Let's get the trigger plugin in here. It's a great plugin for this, and I'm gonna go in and use some samples from an old school producer, Scott Storch. Where am I here? Percussion. Let's see what we got here. See if we can find something. All right. Let's see if we can find something. There, I just gotta lower that a bit. Don't want to go too heavy. Okay, Scott Storch wasn't really giving me what I was looking for. Let's see. All right. Now we're doing good here. Let's see what this does.
Day provides us with more samples, a lot of examples, but left with one angle. Only one, still not converted. Sure, but it's clear that you're the one left with the burden of proof. Facts. Day one,
He created the dark and the light.
Day two,
He separated the waters aright.
Day three, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day four,
Sun, moon, stars, and the lights in the heavens.
Day
The
five,
animals that were swimming dependent.
Day six, land animals and man, and then on the seventh he rested. Check it. Now some Christians like the rest on reliance and reinterpret scripture to make it align with science. This article into question our hermeneutical methods with any text we relying on for our guidance. Let's do a case study. Take the word day, look outside of Genesis 1 to see the different ways all the biblical authors would have tried to employ this phrase night and day, evening and morning, so we could get it straight. I bet 410 times.
Would you look at that?
It retains its regular meaning with the number of a text. I counted 51 times if this word is engaged with evening and morning, and the meaning never changed. Never. Night and day provides us with more samples, a lot of examples, but left with one angle. Only one, still not converted.
Sure,
But it's clear that you're the one left with the burden of proof. Facts. Day one,
He created the dark and the light.
Day two,
He separated the waters aright.
Day three, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day four,
Sun, moon, stars, and the lights in the heavens.
Day
The
five,
animals that were swimming dependent.
Day six, land animals and man, and then on the seventh he rested.
Okay, maybe not following the exact same pattern as the perks. Maybe instead we can get it off a bit. So let's see what this grid does for me. Let's take a look. Okay. Let's see what that sounds like with the music. Okay, so what I'm hearing, I'm not hearing what I want. What I actually, I'm thinking that would work and sound really good would be a hat right before that snare. Right? So that's what I'm thinking I want to do. So instead of using this, the percussion, I'm just going to grab the snare, and that'll probably be perfect, because if the snare lets me, I can...
Facts. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals, and man, and then on the 7th he rested. Check it. Now some Christians like to rest on reliance and reinterpret scripture to make it align with science. This article into question our hermeneutical methods with any text we relying on for our guidance. Let's do a case study. Take the word day, look outside of Genesis 1 to see the different ways all the biblical authors would have tried to employ this phrase night and day, evening and morning, so we can get it straight. 410 times. Would you look at that? It retains its regular meaning with the number attached. I counted 51 times that this word is engaged with evening and morning, and the meaning never changed. Never. Night and day provides us with more samples, a lot of examples, but left with one angle. Only one. Still not converted. Sure, but it's clear that you're the one left with the burden of proof. Fact. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, the land, animals, and man, and then on the 7th he rested. Check it. Now I've also got theological reasons for not accepting everything that they try and feed me. I do. When we look at our present condition, the question is, when did death come into existence? Think about it. Some say the fall, but let me get this clear. How were the animals dying for billions of years? Romans.
All right, so that gives me a open hat right before the snare. Not going to use it the whole time. Probably put it in during the hook to kind of add some change to what's happening. Let's take a look here what that would sound like just during the hook. All right. Let's see.
Bible facts. Day 1, he created the dark and the light. Day 2, he separated the waters aright. Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4, sun, moon, stars and the lights in the heavens. Day 5, the animals that will swim independent. Day 6, land, animals, and man, and then on the 7th he rested. Check it. Now some Christians like to rest on reliance and reinterpret scripture.
Yeah, I like that. I really do like the element it's adding. It's just a little bit more during that, during the hook. Yeah, definitely almost there. The drums are almost there. The piano, I haven't touched the piano, the guitar, and then the pads, the percussions, different percussion, piano, strings, and then the vocal sample and the vocals. But I am at about an hour now, and I think that'll be it for now. So again, guys, if you did like what I'm doing here and you enjoyed it, you learned a little bit, now go and apply this to your mix. Apply these concepts, some of the ideas that done here when it comes to the layering the kicks, layering the snares, and go and do those for yourself in your mix. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you can, please like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, like the Facebook page, and like the and share if you can, please. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Try to get as much as I possibly can and explain, not just fly through everything, but explain what I'm doing, so that way you can learn. And I enjoy doing this. I think I enjoy it a little too much, especially because mixing Christian hip hop is my passion. I can resonate a lot with what's being said, and so those are the good things, especially when it comes to glorifying God with our music, with our lyrics, and to the glory of God. So everybody, hopefully you're all staying safe, staying healthy and happy, and that you're gonna not sleep in for church tomorrow, because it is daylight savings time. We're gonna spring forward. That means that it'll be 11 o'clock, and I'm gonna lose an hour of sleep. All right, guys. So thank you so much once again, and enjoy your weekend. And other than that, God bless. Catch you guys later. Bye.
Carbon dating never pointed to billions of years, so that foundation that you standing on is quicksand. You're sinking, man.
He created the dark and the light.
Day 2,
He separated the waters aright.
Day 3, he created the land and the plants and the leaves and the vegetation that we all eat. Day 4,
Sun, moon, stars are the lights in the heavens.
Day
The
5,
animals that were swimming independent.
Day 6, land, animals, and man, and then on the 7th he rested. Check it. Now some Christians like to rest on reliance and reinterpret scripture to make it align with science. This article into question our hermeneutical methods with any text we relying on for our guidance. Let's do a case study. Take the word day, look outside of Genesis 1 to see the different ways all the biblical authors would have tried to